Threats and intimidation tactics by the United States of America are seemingly not working on the man at the helm of South Africa's G20 presidency, Cyril Ramaphosa. He is adamant that the G20 Summit will have a leader's declaration.
We will have a declaration. The talks are going extremely well. I'm confident we are moving towards a declaration, and they are now just dotting the I's and crossing the T's. We will not be bullied. We will not agree to be bullied.
The president says the economy or size of the military of a nation does not mean they can be allowed to bully others.
It cannot be that a country's geographical location or income level or army determines who has a voice and who is spoken down to. And it basically means that there should be no bullying of one nation by another nation. We are all equal.
Ramaphosa echoed the unity message of the developing global south ahead of the G20 Leaders Summit this weekend. Addressing the G20 Social Summit, Ramaphosa also fired salvo at the American government led by President Donald Trump. That has consistently been negative about the G20 Summit being held on South African soil. He says those who mock the summit as a G100 should know you go further together than alone.
If you want to go fast, anywhere, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. This is what we are doing. There are some who have dubbed what we are doing through the G20 Summit by holding a number of other G meetings, which I'll speak about in a little while, that we are having a G100, a G1000, and that is true. We are having a G1,000,000 because we are about inclusiveness, bringing people together, and this summit is possibly the best of all the G summits that we are going to have.
Ramaphosa says South Africa has used its presidency of the G20 to push for sustainable development globally. He called for the deepening of global economic cooperation, saying there should be no unwritten rules about who feasts and who must settle for scraps.
Your summit is taking place at a time of great uncertainty around the world. Political polarization, global poverty, conflict and war, and the growing impact of climate change are threatening global development. Inequality in wealth distribution, imbalances in international development finance.
World leaders have, in the meanwhile, started arriving in South Africa for the Leaders Summit this weekend, when the tip of Africa will seek to change the global order.
Meanwhile, the United States has sought to clarify its position on whether it had a change of mind, regarding attendance of the G20 Summit in Johannesburg. The White House has released a short statement saying that its charge d'affaires in Pretoria will attend the declaration handover ceremony as a formality. However, the United States says it is not joining the G20 discussions themselves. A White House press secretary, Caroline Levitt, had this to say.
The United States is not participating in official talks at the G20 in South Africa. I saw the South African president running his mouth a little bit against the United States and the president of the United States earlier today, and that language is not appreciated by the president or his team. The ambassador or the representative of the embassy in South Africa is simply there to recognize that the United States will be the host of the G20. They are receiving that send-off at the end of the event. They are not there to participate in official talks, despite what the South African president is falsely claiming.
Speaking at the White House, President Trump's press secretary Caroline Leavitt has made it clear that the US will not be taking part in the G20 summit. She told reporters that she'd seen, quote, the South African president running his mouth a little bit, and that it's not appreciated by the president and his team. Well, President Trump had previously said that no US officials would be taking part in the G20 summit in South Africa, in the first ever boycott of the multilateral event by any member state, claiming the US absence was justified because white Afrikaners were being killed in South Africa, a false claim that he's made repeatedly since returning to the White House. But on Thursday, President Cyril Ramaphosa said there'd been a change of mind and that Pretoria was in discussions with Washington over participating in one shape, form or the other in the summit. The White House called this fake news. They said that the charge d'affaires in Pretoria will attend the handover ceremony as a formality, but that the United States is not joining G20 discussions. Now, that was reiterated by the press secretary, who said the US diplomat was not there to participate, as the president is falsely claiming. Washington had also warned Ramaphosa's administration not to attempt the publication of any joint statement given the US's absence. But President Ramaphosa said that talks with Washington were ongoing about more participation than just the diplomatic acceptance, saying they're still discussing how it will manifest. Certainly, sending a US diplomat to the G20 handover ceremony falls far short of full participation in the summit, which is traditionally attended by the US president. Kate Fisher.